Thank you for watching in any arena. If you like our content, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let's get into
about Garcia-Tank, and whether or not this fight will happen. I know
it.
personally, I'm excited. I think lightweight is one of the more exciting divisions in boxing right now.
For
You
sure.
got you got some other than welterweight's exciting too. So it's tough between lightweight and welterweight. You got a lot of guys in welterweight that welterweight's been historically exciting anyway with guys like Floyd, guys like you know um, Pacquiao. You got a lot of guys in welterweight that make it exciting. But
hmm
lightweight's very exciting right now with Haney, Garcia, Tank, Pitbull, Cruz. You got a lot of guys there. Jojo Diaz. So, um, do you think the fight's going to happen? I saw Floyd tweeted that we can make it happen at 135 at
Right.
lightweight. Because I think Ryan was talking about 140 and then
hmm
Tank, coming up there to knock him out up there. So, of course,
hmm
the knockout is inevitable
Well, of
at
course.
whatever at
In due
whatever
time.
weight class.
Right.
But what do you think about the Twitter sparring, the jaw jacking, and everything that's going on between these two camps?
So you got the money team asking
Mayweather,
Garcia,
Mayweather Promotions.
do you want to fight Tank at 135? We can make that happen before the end of the year. Garcia is like, hey, any weight, any place, any time, Floyd. And for me, let's just take a step back. Gervonta, you're a heavy hitter. In the words of Lil Baby, I'm a heavy hitter like Gervonta Davis. Right? That's the way he is. So when you think about Gervonta Davis, him and Floyd, I don't know if they're on the same page right now. So I'm a little hesitant about some of Floyd's tactics, right? Because
Yeah,
Javante is trying to create his own brand outside of Mayweather
GTD
Productions.
Promotions.
Right. So keep that in mind. But I
I
will
think I
say
think
that
I think at a certain point you got to create your own
you have to.
because
Floyd did it
think about
too.
it. Floyd was on Golden Boy.
Yeah. Now he own like you mentioned. We
Now
were
he
talking
owns part
earlier.
of Golden Boy.
So he not gonna ever own Mayweather Production. Let's get that abundantly clear. We're not saying that, but in order to create your own brand and legacy, sometimes you got to pivot. You got to
Yeah,
pivot. So when you think about the fight, could it possibly happen? I think it should happen. And you know what?
it has to happen.
This year, and let me tell you when it should happen. New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. Going to the new year, a fresh butt whooping for Garcia. Humble him a little bit, have him to think about life a little bit. That
Make
New
him
Year's
have
Eve,
him make
easing
some
it.
resolutions.
Resolutions. Pray to
Yeah,
the big man
make
upstairs
some
for a better year.
make
So
some resolutions. I don't think it goes quite that long. I think we're talking late November, early December if it
okay,
happens. Um, I have
that New
I
Year's
have
Eve will
seen
be lit though. Think about
I
New
have
Year's
I
Eve.
have seen the Haney. I feel like I don't know. I haven't verified this, but Haney's team has said, of course, Cambosos has to happen. They got a rematch clause, but I think he's willing to give Garcia what he wants to. And I think the reason why you see this draw with Garcia, I mean, the crazy thing is Garcia doesn't have any belts, so
Mm.
it's not, and he's not the number one guy. He's not the number two guy
Mm.
at lightweight.
But
I
does
mean,
but
I
does
think
but does Garcia even have that insatiable appetite to even want the belts? I don't even
I
think it's
think he
that for
has
him.
I think he has the appetite for the bag. And I think
Of course,
everybody in
that's what it
boxing,
is.
it's all about the bag. It ain't about nothing else. I'm not going to be
I'm
putting my
not gonna
life at
say that.
risk if it's not about the bag. So I think everybody is willing to fight Garcia because it's a payday. Garcia is has a huge social media following.
Yes, he
He's a
does.
social media champ. So you get the draw of fighting a YouTuber, except you're fighting another guy who's who's high quality. And I didn't mean any
Man,
disrespect by
let's
fighting a
let's stop
YouTuber.
talking. Let's stop calling him a. Yes, he's a YouTuber. This dude is a boxer, man. He is
He's a
23
boxer.
and
He's a
0
boxer. No
with
disrespect.
19
I didn't
KOs.
I didn't mean it that way. I
Like,
apologize.
he
What I
real,
meant
man.
was you get the draw that we're seeing. The only reason why people are watching YouTubers fight is because it's a big draw. These
It
guys
is.
have a big presence.
Yeah,
So no disrespect to the Garcia camp. I'm just simply saying that he's built a great following on social media.
he
He's
has.
built a brand.
He
He's
has.
built a great brand.
He
And so
has.
you get the draw of fighting a guy with a great brand who's also a high caliber fighter and a
Hmm.
potential champion. So I
Yep.
think that's why he's on everybody's radar. And now he's talking.
Right.
Before it was just about him posting videos, highlight reels. He wasn't
Hmm.
really calling anybody out. Now he's
Yep.
calling everybody out.
Mm.
So
That's that confidence, though. I mean, once you start winning and you laying people out on that canvas, you're gonna talk that talk. And one thing about boxing is you're promoting yourself. Like
exactly.
in order to really get the fights that you want and get the draw and the attention, you have to have you gotta have the gift of gab. You have to be able to talk yourself up because you have to be that Conor McGregor, perfect example, great fighter. He's not the best right now. But if McGregor is on the card, you watching it because it's Conor
Yeah.
McGregor.
Proper 12.
That's it, man.
But I think the tough thing about it is that it's a lot of parties involved. I hate with boxing that we get so much talking
So much red tape.
without we don't have a date.
So
We
much
don't have
red
a
tape,
date.
bro.
We don't have an address on it. I don't like all the talking before anything is settled and we know for sure that we get in a fight and we know that these guys are fighting on this day.
Right.
Right
Right.
now, like I like Gervonta's take what he tweeted, you know, nothing's even settled right now. So there's no point in talking about it. I like Gervonta gives me a Mike Tyson type of aura when it comes to if it's set up, if it's a date, I'll
He a
be there and I'll
killer.
be ready.
He a killer.
I'll be there and I'll be ready. And I think that's what he's saying. So I like his approach better in terms of just
Yeah.
when there's a date and an address on it, we'll go ahead and see what time it is.
Okay. So let's use hypotheticals. If this fight were to happen by the end of the year, who do you have
Well, I
winning?
said this before, and I said it, say this again. I have Gervonta inside of 10 rounds,
Okay.
and I say 10 rounds, just respectively from a standpoint of we've seen Gervonta in more recent fights take some time to really download information on the fighter, to really
Mm,
sit back, sit back and really, understand what type of battle he's in, really pick up on tendencies and not be so quick to go for the knockout, but still calculate that big shot. And I
mm.
think what we see is we see a fight that goes somewhere into the 10th round. I said under 10, but I think it goes under 11, somewhere into the 10th round. I think at that point you've seen Garcia already be knocked down once,
Mm.
with a questionable, was it a knockdown? Did he slip? Some sort of situation like that. And I feel like we see Garcia take the big shot within that 10th round, and I think it's lights out. At
Night
that
night.
point and I think you see and hopefully after that we see a Haney Garcia matchup for all
Mm.
the belts at lightweight and I think it's something similar in that fight too. I don't see any of these guys being able to withstand that power. I don't see it. Pitbull Cruz was a different type of animal. In terms of he's really built for punishment. I feel like
Mm.
just looking at his build, and he was able to take some of that punishment. And I think also, he had a big punch waiting on Gervonta. So you seen Gervonta kind of sit back and say, "I'll cruise this fight. I'm not gonna risk taking a big punch from him." And that might mean I don't get to give the big punch on him either. And it's questionable in terms of some people say, "Oh, he didn't win the fight." I think he won the fight. I don't think Pitbull Cruz did anything to
Mm.
win the fight
Mm.
specifically. But yeah, I think the fight within 11 rounds. again, somewhere in that 10th round, you see Garcia, really meet the mat, and
Mm.
maybe
Like,
meet the mat, and he go feel it. So, what's your thoughts on it? Where do you see the
man,
fight
I
ending?
got I got Davis in 7. Davis in
Davis in
7.
7.
And this is
You don't
why.
think Garcia gets through 7 rounds?
Davis in 7. And I'm gonna tell
Wow.
you exactly why. A lot of people like to talk about size and matchups and fighting styles and such. Garcia's build is very similar to Barrios, Mr. El Azteca, that Tank knocked down a few months ago. And so you think about Mr. El Azteca standing at 5'10 and
Yep.
Javante standing at about 5'6. Same thing. Same thing. You got Garcia standing at about 5'10, 5'11 with a 70.1 reach. Um, Azteca had a 71 inch reach, right? So when you think about the two fighters, in my humble opinion, Barrios and Garcia, very similar size. Now Garcia is very quick. He's shifty. He's nimble, and so it's but so are Barrios. Like I think Barrios is a better fighter than Garcia. I may be
I
wrong,
agree. I was gonna
but
say that. I
I
was
think
gonna say I don't think
Barrios
Garcia
is a
is a
better
better fighter
fighter,
than
and I
Barrios.
think Javante
Yeah.
was quite surprised by some of the hits he was able to lay on him. So using that fight as a mechanism to prepare him from Garcia, right? Because he's a smaller fighter, in stature, but that power, the strategy, the defense, I just think that fight it really it really helped prep him. If this Garcia fight were to happen, it helped prep him for what will happen with Garcia. So I see Gervonta Davis knocking him out. He gonna hit the canvas in 7. Shoot, it might be 5. It might be 5.
Um, I think so. A couple thoughts with that. I think Barrios. I wouldn't say that Barrios and Garcia are the same type of fighter
Mm.
per se. Um, I think they're a little different. From their styles and what you'll see in terms of like attack. I mean, they're both orthodox fighters, but I don't think that they're exactly the same in
And
terms
Tank is
of
Southpaw.
their
Tank is Southpaw, right?
right.
Okay.
So my big thing is that I think Garcia just does not. I think he's going to be quick. I think he's going to land some good punches on Davis, but I don't feel like Garcia possesses the power to knock Davis out, and that's the difference.
Davis got a strong chin, so you right.
A strong chin, bro.
He
So
got a strong chin. I done
I
seen some
think,
dudes and get some licks on him, and he just like,
and it
he's.
might be to his detriment in the long run because he takes a lot of hits.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I don't see it, bro. Like I saw this clip of Gervonta the other day when he was a kid, where they were hyping him up. He was downloading information on a taller kid. I mean, he couldn't have been older than maybe like 8 years old, and he just hits him with a big shot, a big left hook, to where he just rocks the kid, and the kid walks off. So he's always had this type of power. Um, I don't see it, bro. And honestly, man, we could be talking about this, and this fight does not happen because I think there's still the draw, or there's still the possibility that talk heats up. Maybe somebody tweets the wrong thing. We live in that social media generation where Haney or Tank tweet something, and the next thing you know, after that, Haney Cambosos fight, you get what you really want, which is Haney Garcia. I think that's what everybody really wants at
mm,
lightweight. Um, I know that's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want to
mm.
see the guys that I feel like are the two best fighters at lightweight, in my opinion, um, go at it. I also think there's a chance you see a Lomachenko fight somewhere in the mix.
Lomachenko.
Yeah, I think you see Lomachenko somewhere in the mix versus one of these guys as well, at some point. So I don't know. I'm excited either way.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Think this is gonna be a good one
Yep.
if it were to happen.
if it happens, it could be one of those things that we have to wait 2 more years to see. But if we see Garcia Davis at any point in time on this green earth, Garcia meets the mat.